So, welcome to this workshop on community developed heritage. It's a pleasure to meet you all from Kosovo and think collectively how we can make heritage open to communities where the communities still have place and opportunities with the heritage to live, to bring the heritage into the future. So today's workshop has the agenda that we a little bit think about what we heard so far, what the good things, strengths and weaknesses are in Peja, and a little bit also define once more what the aim of the project is, and then we will continue giving you some inspiring cases, hopefully, how you could do this community developed heritage activation. And after this, we will separate in workshop groups and think individually how we can form a kind of a roadmap, a guideline to follow up in the upcoming months, years, seasons. And by the end of the workshop, we will compare our workshop results and eventually add things which we didn't think individually in the individual groups, and then also think about what do we need to report, what do we need to include in our publication and also our public presentation in the end of the project. So this is a little bit the guide or the agenda for today. Our project is about communities. Our project is about heritage and about development. So what do we mean with this? Every society, even our experts, have different opinions about what the community is, what the heritage is, and what the development is. But there is also a common understanding what areas this concept would cover. It would cover sustainability, it would cover preservation of heritage, it would cover identification, our communities, how they identify with the heritage, with the place, with the possibilities our heritage gives us. We talk about spatial justice if we talk about communities, because we can have investors who valorize heritage, but we can also have the communities where the residents, the citizens can have the benefits of activation. We are talking about opportunities, ideas, how we can create new jobs, new income sources, new uses. We are talking about win-win situations when we talk about communities, because you will not have the community work for free forever. So we need to define goals. We need to find a collective approach that also the single people in the community find their place. We are talking about improvement if we are talking about development, because we don't want to be in the same situation in 5-10 years and so on. So those are kind of like the keyword clouds, and obviously it's a very complex topic, and a community means also collective decision making and so on. So it's obviously a little bit tricky to develop such concepts, and even if they are the concepts, you need adaptation on the way each year, each season, and so on, because community means also people change. We have people maybe in the beginning in their 20s, they maybe have more time, they can contribute to the project, but in 5-10 years when they have children, it might be totally different. Maybe they have to think in 20 years about what shall my kids do in this village, what could be their income. So you have, again, a different motivation. You have a different motivation when people are in pension. So this community heritage development is an organic ecosystem thingy which evolves, which needs always adaptation and makes you unique because all individuals will have their place in this society, in this picture. And that means you have nowhere the same community heritage constellation like in your case. And we thought, who could be interested in this unique picture? And also because of the previous workshops we had, we think tourism could be a very good way to valorize such developed heritages. So therefore, our aim for Peja is develop a roadmap for the community-led activation of cultural heritage in the region, not only in Peja. There are already tracks in the natural heritage, but bring all together, have a concept for the whole region, that if a family comes to visit you, that you don't have only the heritage in the city or the natural heritage, but that you have for each single person in that family who visits you different offers that that those people can experience all those individualities. Tourism is therefore a key element as long as it's sustainable and it's benefiting the community. So our aim is not to develop a new super mass tourism place in Peja. It's more tourism should support the community. So this is very important thing to keep in mind. Cultural heritage, we think it's very broad. It can include all kinds of heritage, tangible, intangible, natural, built, and so on. And in this workshop, we have to work a little bit about the communities. Who are those people and how can we be beneficial for them? So from the workshops we had so far, we had a little bit input on how Peja works or where the priorities are. We saw that there are certain stakeholders which have demands, wishes, urgencies, and they have also developed certain kind of formats, events, and so on, or services. Like we had talked about the biker community, we didn't talk about, but there's an incubation hub. We know how active Let's Do It Peja is. So we know there are people who would like to change things in Peja region. There is a value and a big potential to bring these possibilities and actors together to shape the next steps and to be active and to have a path on which they can advance. So we chose the participative model of development because we think this is not really working too well. We have been hearing in the last meeting that the communication between departments, between stakeholders, between citizens, and so on, and the officials do not work too well. So this is kind of like the weakness on which we would like to work in this workshop today. And what can we do together? We can identify the stakeholders which are included today and see what they can contribute, but also we can think and reflect about the stakeholders who are not present today, because all the people from Peja and from Kosovo know their territorium very well. So this is the aim, to identify who could be the multiplier and how big is the community, in which areas we have to go. We can identify today what kind of actions and programs we can develop, like a roadmap, a stone thingy, or a programming, depending on the stakeholder in the workshop then. We can provide references for these actions by our experts in the workshop. And we can, as said, kind of link with the communities who could benefit from such a development. And we can sketch a plan for the next 12 months, for instance.